On their way home from school, Frank caught sight of a large mud pit and decided to challenge the others to a dirty pig contest.
Ready, steady, go!
Look what a bunch of babies. They're off their heads.
Ew, Frank just gets more and more repulsive. He should be locked up.
You don't understand anything. This is a competition. I won.
Frank, not again!
The next day, Frank was having breakfast as his mother called from the laundry room.
Hurry up or you'll be late for school.
All right. Whoa. Oops.
All I do is wash. Wash, wash, and wash. And as soon as you get out of bed, you get yourself into a mess. Look at this. Now put on a clean sweater and try to stay clean for the rest of the day. In fact, I'll give you £10 if your clothes are still clean at the end of the day.
Really?
You've got to learn that it's important to keep yourself neat and tidy if you want to be liked and respected.
Ew, Frank just gets more and more repulsive.
Allow me.
Hero.
You really ought to do something about that sweater, young man. Being neat and tidy is the key to success. Success.
Excited, Frank hurried off to school. For £10, he was ready to make great sacrifices. If, on top of that, he won the affections and respect of a certain young lady, he could do almost anything.
Get lost! Get lost, I said, you dirty mongrel! Get lost, or I...
Threatened Frank, afraid that the dog would rub itself against him and make his trousers dirty.
Here's Frank.
Finally, Frank managed to drive the dog away, and the friends continued walking to school. In the biology lesson, the class was visited by the dog catcher, who was there to inform them about rabies.
I thought I'd start by showing you a film. One symptom is hydrophobia, which means that the animal avoids contact with water at all costs. Another common symptom is that the animal becomes aggressive and erratic. Rabies is most common among dogs and foxes, but any animal can contract the disease, humans included. If you suspect a case of rabies, it is vital that you call us. You'll find the number in this brochure.
During the break, Jerry invented a new game, Rabies Tag.
Thomas got it. Stop it! Stay away from me with your dirty paws!
Thomas, with yesterday's dirty pig contest fresh in his memory, thought that Frank was joking.
Don't you get it, you idiot? I don't want to play your stupid game. If you touch me, I'll give you such a beating.
What's wrong with you? Take it easy.
By the time school was over for the day, they had forgotten about Frank's earlier outburst. The problem, as usual, was to find something fun to do for the rest of the day.
We could have a wrestling tournament.
Come on. Forget it. If you try to wrestle me, I'll give you such a bashing you won't be able to walk for a week.
I know. Let's have a mud war.
Are you crazy? You're totally out of your head.
Jerry was very confused, and so were the others.
We could play football.
Ah! Not a chance.
Climbing over the fence to the gravel pit.
Ah! Oh. Useless idea.
Looking for things at the refuse tip.
What's fun with that?
Frank didn't want to tell them that his mum had promised him £10 if he could stay clean for the whole day. He was certain that should the others find out, they would do anything to mess him up.
Come up with something yourself, then.
Frank was beginning to feel the pressure and finally suggested,
Scrabble?
The day was getting weirder by the minute. But since Frank was the leader of the gang...
Yes, it does. Helicopter is spelled with an F.
I'm off to the shop for a while. There are buns in the kitchen if you're hungry. And there are some soft drinks in the fridge. Help yourself.
The raspberry pop is mine.
But Frank firmly forbade bun eating and soda pop drinking. Thomas and Eric got more and more bored.
Serious.
Of course there is.
Where? Where in hippopotamus do you find a G?
While Jerry and Frank continued their debate, Thomas and Eric sneaked away to do something more fun.
Milk chocolate drink.
I got you! Again and again!
Eat this. Ha!
Stop it! Stop! Blasted hooligans! You should be put in a reformatory! What if I had got chocolate on my sweater, huh?
While Frank was scolding Thomas and Eric, Jerry took the opportunity to slink down into the kitchen and get a glass of raspberry pop, despite the expressed prohibition.
No!
Thanks to an amazing evasive maneuver, Frank avoided getting raspberry pop all over himself.
Mom, look! Not a single stain! Can I have my 10 pounds now?
You've been a real good boy. But what's this? What have you been doing? Frank, now I'm very disappointed. Cleaning up costs money too.
It's your fault! You boneheads! You've ruined everything! I'm gonna kill you!
At first, Thomas, Eric and Jerry couldn't understand why Frank was in such a state, but gradually they began to realize...
This is most common among dogs and foxes. The animal becomes aggressive.
No!
You'll find the number in this brochure.
All the pieces were beginning to fall into place. It all seemed to make sense, but they wanted to be absolutely sure before they took action. While Thomas and Eric kept Frank in check, Jerry performed a test.
What? What's this? Squirt me with chocolate, will you?
There was no longer any doubt.
You remembered what you were taught and acted swiftly. Well done, boys.
What did I tell you? He shouldn't be allowed to run loose.